give to the states their Medicaid dollars to care for their own poor in the way they think best, and then you allow people, individuals, to buy insurance on their own account on the same tax advantage basis that companies buy insurance today. So people can own their own insurance as they go from job to job. They won't have to worry about getting a condition that would keep them from being insured.
What about pre-existing conditions? And that's the thing. I mean, I know people who could not get insurance up until this Obamacare, and now they're covered in pre-existing conditions. I mean, to me, that, and children also. It seems like children and people with pre-existing conditions should be covered.
Yeah, well, people who have been continuously insured, let's say someone's had a job for a while, been insured, then they get real sick, and they happen to lose a job or change jobs, they find, gosh, I got a pre-existing condition, I can't get insured. I'd say, no. As long as you've been continuously insured, you ought to be able to get insurance going forward. So you have to take that problem away. You have to make sure that legislation doesn't allow insurance companies to reject people.
So you would make the law stand for children and people with pre-existing conditions?
People with pre-existing conditions, as long as they've been insured before, they're going to be able to continue to have insurance.
Well, suppose they were never insured before.
If they're 45 years old and they show up and they say, I want insurance because I've got a heart disease, it's like, hey guys, we can't play the game like that. You've got to get insurance when you're well, and then if you get ill, then you're going to be covered.
Yeah, but there are a lot of people that I only mention this because I know guys that work in the auto industry and they're just not covered because they work in brake dust and so they've just never been able to get insurance, and then they get to be 30, 35. They were never able to get insurance before. Now they have it. That seems like a good thing.
We'll look at a circumstance where someone was ill and hasn't been insured so far. But people who've had the chance to be insured, if you're working at an auto business, for instance, the companies carry insurance. They insure all their employees. You look at the circumstances that exist. But people who've done their best to get insured are going to be able to be covered. But you don't want everyone saying, I'm going to sit back until I get sick and then go buy insurance. That doesn't make sense. But you have to find rules that get people in that are playing by the rules.